I'm Gary Hess, and I have been the Men's Residence Hall Dean at Weimar Institute since the fall of 2013. As the Men's Dean, I do a lot of counseling, talking to the young men on a one-on-one basis, and so I see my role as kind of a mentor or father figure for young men as they're transitioning from education and then when they leave here going into the world to do whatever it is they're going to do, and kind of fill in the gap there when dad's not around and they need somebody to help them out. My background helps me in my role as the Men's Dean. I spent 34 and a half years in law enforcement before coming to Weimar Institute, and during that time I learned a lot about working with people and reading people. It's kind of a bleed over into what I'm doing now. Some of the things that I like to do are, I like hiking, I like going backpacking, I like going on trips with my wife. We try and take a road trip every summer. I like visiting with my grandchildren, giving Bible studies to people. That's actually, I enjoy doing that more than just about anything. One of the things that I really love about Weimar is once a week we go out on Wednesday afternoons, and the staff and faculty actually work with the students in ministry, and it's a program called TCI, Total Campus Involvement, which turns into Total Community Involvement. You have to show somebody that you care about them if you expect them to listen to what you have to tell them about the gospel. So besides my other responsibilities, the responsibility that I think is the most important is directing young men to Christ, helping them in their Christian growth. They arrive here in different places in their Christian growth, and the goal is for Weimar Institute that when they leave, they have a relationship with Christ. And if they don't, when they leave, then we've failed at what we're trying to do. Wherefore, I will not be negligent to put you always in remembrance of these things, though ye know them, and be established in the present truth. As the dean and leading young men to Christ, I think we have a responsibility to lead them to what is present truth, so that they understand present truth. Now, what Peter was talking about, the present truth in his day was that Christ was the Messiah. So what's the present truth in our day? The present truth is that Christ is coming soon. And so I do worship once a week with the young men from the dorm on Friday mornings, and my goal has been to share with them things that are going on in the world that they're really not paying attention to because they're wrapped up in their studies, they're wrapped up in their life here, they're very busy. They're running to and fro. And they have a lot going on, and so I try to help them in that regard. So we see the events going on in the world, and while they're important mile markers, the real event is Christ is waiting for us to see the manifestation of his character in us, and then he will come. And so my goal is to share this truth with the young men that I'm responsible for.
Life is like a race. Sometimes it seems like you're carrying more weight than anyone else onto the track. Your daily responsibilities, work, family. You keep it all together for a while, but then it just becomes too much. The race, well, it seems endless. But then you find yourself falling hard. So you find ways to cope, so you think. Sometimes it just seems like it's easier to stay down than to get back up again. Whatever has knocked you down, your health, habits, feelings of hopelessness, we understand. The good news is, your current circumstances don't have to define the rest of your life. We here at New Start Online want to give you the tools to help you get back up and get going again. To take one step and then another and another, until before you know it, you're on your way toward your personal best. Because we believe the race is not really about being number one. It's about what's number one in your life. So contact us for how you can get back on track and run your race better than ever before. Because it's never too late to make a new start now.
I wish everything wasn't so tiring, that I could enjoy my life to the fullest without medications. I wish I could give more than excuses to my grandkids. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I wish I could have a new start.
Well, you can. And we'd like to show you how. New Start has gone online. New Start Online is our health and lifestyle program featuring 32 hours of health lectures from world-renowned physicians, cooking demonstrations, recipes, a meal planner, an exercise logging tool, access to a dietitian, and a health and lifestyle coach. Because life is so much more than a broken wish list. Life is about new opportunities, new growth, a new start. Because it's never too late to make a new start now.
Absolute reliance is not just the theme for this week's week of prayer. I believe that God desires for us to rely upon Him every single day, every single moment of our lives. That is the only way to go. We are so accustomed to relying upon our own strength, upon our own ideas, upon other people's ideas. But friends, why settle for something that is not of God? Why not give it all to Him? Why not experience something that you have not experienced before? And this is what God desires. And this is one thing I learned, friends. The Lord desires us to abide with Him. It's not just because He desires our worship. He desires to give us whatever He has. So why go away? Why look for other solution? God is desiring to give everything to us. And this thing that I realized while I'm walking with Him, as relying fully upon Him, there should be a surrender. There should be a giving up of things that we are used to doing before. The only thing that would last for eternity are the things that we give to God. There's this beautiful passage from John Wesley that says, whatever we give up, whatever it is we surrender to God, is immediately touched with immortality. So if you want something, or even your life to last for eternity. Give it all to Him. Do not hold back. And there's this beautiful lesson that we have learned from the story of Abraham, that nothing that we possess is too precious to give to God. Remember, everything is His anyways. Let's give it all to Him. Let's bring it back to Him. He owns us. He owns our hearts. And when we have Him, we have everything.
Life is like a race. Sometimes it seems like you're carrying more weight than anyone else onto the track. Your daily responsibilities, work, family. You keep it all together for a while, but then it just becomes too much. The race, well, it seems endless. But then you find yourself falling hard. So you find ways to cope, so you think. Sometimes it just seems like it's easier to stay down than to get back up again. Whatever has knocked you down, your health, habits, feelings of hopelessness, we understand. The good news is, your current circumstances don't have to define the rest of your life. We here at New Start Online want to give you the tools to help you get back up and get going again. To take one step and then another and another, until before you know it, you're on your way toward your personal best. Because we believe the race is not really about being number one. It's about what's number one in your life. So contact us for how you can get back on track and run your race better than ever before. Because it's never too late to make a new start now.
All of humanity is in a desperate search for happiness, and yet life is going so fast that true happiness is often passed by. Here at Weimar Academy, I especially enjoy agriculture class because I get time to enjoy the simple little moments with my friends, such as digging in the dirt with your friends, or watching your produce grow and develop, and in the end, cooking it and eating it. God often uses nature as an illustration of His love towards us, and that's why I find working here in the agriculture gardens so special, because as I learn and watch my plants grow, I also learn of the love God has for me, because He is a caring God who wants me to enjoy these simple pleasures of life.
The Bible tells us that back in the Old Testament, the priests and the Levites would work together. So there was the preaching of the word, and there was the ministry of music that made that audible. The New Testament church continued that all throughout the history of the church, and we have the privilege at Weimar Academy to do the same thing.
Choir tour is putting into action in what you truly believe. When we put our faith and trust upon God, He'll give us so many blessings in return for that.
I see God work, and I see Him work in those around me. I see Him working with the audience that we sing to, and I see Him work in my own life. When you are at your lowest, when you feel like you can't sing anymore, when your voice is gone, when you're just tired and don't want to do it, that's when you have to rely on God. When we're at our weakest, that's when God is the strongest.
Whenever I think that I could do it in my own strength, the concert doesn't seem to go well for me. I just feel like, I'm alone and nothing's working.
But when people have been sick and not been able to sing and perform to their greatest potential, we are reminded to pray. I believe that people underestimate the power of prayer, how impactful prayer can be.
And when we pray and say, hey, Lord, take this concert over because we are here to bless others, He does.
Even throughout the tour, we do pray. Sometimes it's an entire group, but also in small groups.
And when I put everything in His hands, it magically does something that changes the concert.
And so we immerse things in prayer. And yet, although you're doing the planning, and although you pray, things still happen. And so as they're happening, it's nice to see when the Lord responds immediately.
And when we do pray, I see an instant transformation on people's faces, instant transformation in the way we perform. Even though we feel that we're not at its greatest, that's when God can transform our
concerts where you could literally hear the angels sing with us, because there's absolutely no way we could have sounded how we sounded.
Throughout the whole choir tour, I'd asked for God to reveal Himself to others during the concerts, but I wanted the last concert to be special, especially because I'm a senior and this is my last choir tour. I asked that God would open my ears and let me hear the angel voices. After the concert, I can still remember it. It sounded like something I could not describe. And after that, I talked to a few people from the academy and they're like, oh man, we went flat here, we went sharp here, we came in at the wrong places. I stepped back and I was like, wow, that's not what I heard. I didn't hear any of those mistakes because the angels were singing with us and that's what I heard.
Experience for people who want to make memories together, how you can struggle together.
We have to sleep in all these different places. Maybe it's a classroom, maybe it's a fellowship hall, maybe it's a bathroom.
Hard floors and gyms, we're cold. A lot of people have gotten sick.
Perhaps, not getting enough sleep or being in a different location, a complete new environment.
You're all crammed into one vehicle, and how there's lack of showers.
Can't forget about that, but I would not trade any of that for anything else because it is such a great experience.
And you somehow make the best of it and you make great memories together. And
just waking up early and walking down to the beach to watch a sunrise, or late nights talking with each other, having really deep conversation that are really meaningful. That's when you bond really well with your friends and the peers around you. When you're confined with so many people, it's easy to get tired of people, but it's also incredible because that's when you get closest to each other.
It just really blew my mind that He uses us human beings, sinful human beings, to accomplish a work that He could have done Himself. He could have used the angels, He could have used anybody but us. But He chose to use us because we will be able to relate to others in this world that are hurting, because we hurt in the same way. Jesus came down to this earth. He became our problems. He became sin for us and took our place for what we should have deserved.
During choir tour, instead of just thinking about yourself, you're thinking more about how can I show Christ? How can I serve people through singing?
We can sing together, and it's made up of individuals. Everybody's singing their part, playing their part, and God is able to put things together in such a wonderful symphony that only the Master is able to do.
And I am custodial director in Weimar Institute. So my day at work, it started at 5:30. So I come and I go around to the departments, to the buildings, and pick up trash and touch up things and restock all the supplies for the day. I like to walk, go around, and also like for exercise, because we all need to be active and walk around. And it's a beautiful place, so that give me a chance to see the trees, see the flowers, listen to the birds and everything. So I love to go for a walk and see what the Lord has done for us. Well, every year I get a group of students, and vary, but most of the time they give me freshmen and sophomores. And it's good because, see, the sooner they start learning the very important things in life, like cleaning, is very, very important. And if we can teach them, how to honor the Lord when we clean everything and we have everything organized, it's really good. The best advice that I give the students is be more concerned, and it's really the only thing that we're going to take from earth to heaven. And it says, be more concerned about your character than your reputation, what you really are. What your reputation is, what people that come to the campus, they really like to, when they are looking at the places and when they get to the buildings and they can see when the buildings are clean and nice and organized, they really can see like a reflection of Christ. And so when you see something that is clean and organized, you think really about Christ. And so if we really want to reflect Christ, we need to reflect Christ in what we do. When we clean the best we can because we are doing it for the Lord.
You got that right? We're putting that in.
I wish everything wasn't so tiring, that I could enjoy my life to the fullest without medications. I wish I could give more than excuses to my grandkids. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I wish I could have a new start.
Well, you can. And we'd like to show you how. New Start has gone online. New Start Online is our health and lifestyle program featuring 32 hours of health lectures from world-renowned physicians, cooking demonstrations, recipes, a meal planner, an exercise logging tool, access to a dietitian, and a health and lifestyle coach. Because life is so much more than a broken wish list. Life is about new opportunities, new growth, a new start. Because it's never too late to make a new start now.
I wish everything wasn't so tiring, that I could enjoy my life to the fullest without medications. I wish I could give more than excuses to my grandkids. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I wish I could have a new start.
Well, you can. And we'd like to show you how. New Start has gone online. New Start Online is our health and lifestyle program featuring 32 hours of health lectures from world-renowned physicians, cooking demonstrations, recipes, a meal planner, an exercise logging tool, access to a dietitian, and a health and lifestyle coach. Because life is so much more than a broken wish list. Life is about new opportunities, new growth, a new start. Because it's never too late to make a new start now. Life is like a race. Sometimes it seems like you're carrying more weight than anyone else onto the track. Your daily responsibilities, work, family. You keep it all together for a while, but then it just becomes too much. The race, well, it seems endless. But then you find yourself falling hard. So you find ways to cope, so you think. Sometimes it just seems like it's easier to stay down than to get back up again. Whatever has knocked you down, your health, habits, feelings of hopelessness, we understand. The good news is, your current circumstances don't have to define the rest of your life. We here at New Start Online want to give you the tools to help you get back up and get going again. To take one step and then another and another. Until before you know it, you're on your way toward your personal best. Because we believe the race is not really about being number one. It's about what's number one in your life. So contact us for how you can get back on track and run your race better than ever before. Because it's never too late to make a new start now.
funny looking back, those first few days.
Hi! Hi, Danny! I'm your roommate!
Meeting new people, exploring all the sights and sounds of my new home.
What? I'm going to read them all, and then you're going to tell
Isn't
me...
that little dot thingy?
Jesus gave everything for you. The question is, will you give everything?
I realized there's this common thread that runs through the very fabric of who we are here. The passion to know Christ.
Oh, I remember. Yeah?
The daily struggle to reach 10,000 steps.
You know what? You just stop thinking. Chloe!
Although, that's not too hard here.
You know what? Stop running in the dorm. No pillow fights. I told you. We're not.
But more than anything, I think I wanted what those kids had.